Hey, hello YouTube, how's it going? Rock on as always. Thanks for checking out my video. Today this old guy newbie is going to do some upgrades to his PRS 24 Custom. Now this guitar is pretty cool. It's already got a few upgrades in it. I bought it with these Hetfield EMG pickups in it, which are really cool. I've added the Shaler strap locks to it. I've got PRS lampshade style knobs already on it. But today I'm going to put the Grover locking tuners on here, the 406Cs, and do a few other things too. I don't want to put drop D strings on this guitar, and that's going to require a little bit of modification to the nut. So we're going to go through that and clean it up a little bit. A couple of products that I really like, I'll show you those. And if this is something you're into or think about doing to your guitar, hope you'll stick around to the end and see how she sounds. And you know, as always, rock on. Here it comes. So I'm doing some upgrades on my PRS SE. I call this one Charlotte. This has got Hetfield EMG pickups already installed in it, and they sound great. They're really awesome pickups. I'm going to show you how the guy that put these in did the battery box on the back. Did a nice, neat job he did putting that inside the cover for the electronics. Really, really great guitar. Very little wear on this guitar. I bought it used. Paid $600 for it, and that was with the pickups in there, and they run like a couple $100 themselves. So felt pretty good about it. Put the PRS core knobs on it, which is kind of cool. But tonight I am upgrading the tuners because I'm not real crazy about these. One doesn't really stay in tune very good, and I'm really addicted to the locking tuners now. I've got those on my Les Paul, and just once you have them, you want them for everything if you're going to do a lot of string changes. So what fits the PRS SE straight out of the box is the Grover 406C tuners. You want to make sure you get the ones that are 3 aside instead of the inline, because they make 2 different models. So we're going to put these on here. I also want to put some drop D strings. So I've got these Diodario NYXLs. These are the specialized for drop D, and you'll see they're pretty heavy duty strings, 11 to 56. Now, one of the problems with doing that is the nut is not really cut for that size of gauge. So my friend Philip McKnight, who is a YouTuber, his channel is Know Your Gear. You should really check that out if you get a chance. He's a super cool dude. And man, if you want to learn how to work on your own guitar, he's got a series called Sharpen My Axe, where he goes through and fixes out people's guitars for them, and basically teaches you how to do it himself. And he's a professional, you know, guitar tech, luthier, what have you. Really knows what he's doing. Used to own a guitar shop, so guy's straight up and really cool and very honest. Won't lead you astray. So anyway, he's put several videos out on how to do this, and it's really pretty easy. So gonna go ahead and put these on there, and we'll try it out and see if I can get these new strings to fit. So I took one of his tips, which was to slightly widen the grooves in the nut, and I didn't want to spend 80 bucks on a pair of or a set rather of files from Stu Mac, because that's about what they run, and even more with the shipping. So one of his tricks was to take a lower gauge string and wrap it in some sandpaper, and then you just use that as your file. So I've got them widened out enough where I think that these new strings are going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and put these tuners on here and string it up. I'm going to clean it up a little bit too. Fretboard's got some crud on it, you kind of see right there. So got some cleaner today and some fretboard conditioner. Going to go ahead and put that on there, fix her back up, and put Charlotte back together and see how she sounds. Okay, so I'm down to one tuner left to take off, and figured I'd go ahead and show you how the tuners come off and go back on, because it's so simple, and the only reason, you know, to show you one, there's no reason to show you all of them. So I've already got 5 of them off. I'm going to put all the parts that I took off the guitar in a bag and keep them. That way, if I ever want to sell it, I can take the upgraded tuners off and put them back on. I've got some fretboard conditioner and some swirl remover and some cleaner polish. Don't think I'm really going to need the swirl remover. It's pretty clean. I'm going to put a new PRS Truss Rod cover on it. For some reason this 14 didn't come with that on there, so I'm going to upgrade that while I'm doing it. So easy. What you do here is it's really simple. This is a 10mm nut. Actually, it's the liner on top. You'll see when I get it out of there. And you just loosen those up. Pulls the whole thing out. Here's the part that came out with the driver. And the washer was over the top, right? And then you just flip the guitar over, And you'll see there's a little screw here on the back. None of this stuff is screwed together very tight. Just you don't want to strip anything out. No reason to crush any of the wood. So when you put it back in, now like I said, I'm saving all these pieces here, and they'll all go in this bag. Now, so to put the new one on, they only go each way, so you got one side on each. First thing I got to do is I like to put this in first and get it started, and just kind of get it finger tight on there. Not really going to tighten it down. I'm just going to snug it there a little bit. Flip it back over. And now these come with their own screw. And I want to be careful here and not strip it out or mar the guitar. Get it started. Once you snug it down, just give it a little bit more. You don't no need to strip anything out. That's tight enough for that, because it's really going to clamp itself down. And then you just go ahead and do the same here. Just kind of get it tight, but not overly tight. And that's it. Now the way these work, they're a little bit different than other locking tuners. You line the hole up here, put your string through, and then you just start tightening in it. Has a camshaft in there that locks down on it, and works great, and saves a lot of time stringing up guitars. And now my little cat wants to get up here and play. So that was that. We'll go ahead and finish this part up and move on to the next step. So now all the Grover tuners are installed. New truss rod cover with the PRS logo on there, kind of jazzes up the head a little bit. I went ahead and cleaned the fretboard before I put strings on. I want to show you that's the grime and grit that I got off of it. I used this product. It's Music Nomad, and this is their all-in-one cleaner, polish, blah blah blah. Works really good. I didn't really soak it down on the fretboard. I put it on the towel first and then used the towel to wipe it clean, and I didn't really leave it on there very long. Made sure I had another clean towel to dry it off with quickly, and then I used the same company's they call this F1 oil. It's their fretboard conditioner. It's kind of a lemon oil based substance, I guess, and I put that on pretty liberally, let it soak in for a while, and then wiped it down with a dry cloth. And I noticed that after a few minutes there was some damp spots that reappeared. I guess as it had soaked in, you know, it works its way back out, and so I let it set for a while, cleaned it off several times. Didn't really polish the fretboards with anything other than just a soft cloth. They're really in pretty good shape. So I also used that all-in-one polish on the body. You know, while you've got the strings and everything off, it's a good time to be able to get between the pickups and everything. I even used it on the pickup covers. And you can see, you know, really leaves behind a nice glossy finish. I love this guitar. I don't know if this is officially whale blue or not. This is a 2014 SE model. I know it's not the faded blue jean. I believe that's a little darker. I'm not sure exactly what color they classify this is, but I just think it's a really gorgeous guitar. A couple other products I wanted to tell you about. So you probably heard of Deoxit. I think the one that's recommended for most guitars is the D5. This is the G5. Two reasons I have this. Number one reason was neither my Sam Ash or my Guitar Center locally had the D5. They were sold out of it, so this was the only option I had. But also because of this guitar has the EMGs in it. The knobs, the potentiometers aren't like what you think they would be. They look almost like a circuit board, and this is more what this is you know, for. This will also work on the regular ones too. I mean, it pretty much does the same thing. Just because it says gold on there, it doesn't mean that it won't work on any other style of potentiometer, so you should be good to go there. Alright, so next up, throwing the strings on. Oh yeah, I want to mention this to you too. So a lot of guys, they lube the nut, they use a pencil or whatever. There's oil on the market too. This is powdered graphite. This came about in my household because my son was in the Cub Scouts, and this is what we used to lube the axles on the Pinewood Derby cars, and it works great. And I found that it's really good for lubing the nut on your guitar. So I just put a little down in the grooves before I put the strings on, and it stays, you know, it sticks and does a really good job. So we'll be putting that on there also. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and put the strings on now, and then we'll check out how she sounds.
So there it is, YouTube. I appreciate you sticking around to the end. If you like this video, maybe give me a like or join as a sub to my channel. I hope to be putting out some new videos so you guys can follow along with this journey of this old guy guitar newbie. So thanks a lot and always rock on.